huge advantages to set yourself up for a spot where you could win a global competition, or at least make the road a lot easier. And wind the clock back even a couple of weeks, I don't think many people would have had either of these teams in a spot in our upper bracket finals here in these playoffs, but they have both earned it.
And it's a very fair take. So setting the sights down on this pistol round, everybody grouped up in through A main, a bit of a jump spot from Bang, and he's got plenty of util in the back pocket. Letting it loose now, at least with the drone, but that's cancelled out by the knife. Icy in, just trying to lead the charge for the rest of his team. Dart is dealt with, but not before lighting up these players, and there's 100 Thieves that have full control of this site. G2 really struggling to even get any sort of a foothold. Gonna have to double up at least. These fights happening. Jump spot with a right click to do that work, but damage done through the choke point. Great beginnings here for 100 Thieves.
They take the pistol on defense. A good start. Gambling over towards the A side. I feel like when I watch 100 Thieves play, one of the other differences that the Des was talking about between these two IGLs, I think Boostio's more happy to allow his team to play exploitative sometimes and just get the read. Yeah, this is a full A hit happening right now. Set the context here for Ascent too. We are expecting 100 Thieves to come out winning quite a few rounds now. They're on the defense side of Ascent. But this is, don't get it twisted, it's a must-win map for G2. Next up is Bind. So G2, the pressure starts right at the beginning of this match.
I've been going on and on about letting Bind in a pool as a 100 Thieves team. In my opinion, one of the best, I think, currently in Americas at it. They just have too many different looks at it.
Actually, they've left Bang alone here on site, and G2 trying to call a contact play, and Bang throws that smoke so that it's a one-way just for a moment, swings out with it, and then allows it to settle down as the rest of the G2 players also crumble into dust in that choke point. Rifles up, good bonus round buy here for 100 Thieves. And we know that they're a team that are quite happy to do some kind of aggressive stuff on defense as well. Though, to be fair, we haven't actually seen much of them playing Ascent so far this year.
Another shot.
Oh god, this guy's just about to be so free. Just stay calm.
Alright, let's go.
We're the best team in the world.
He can't get away with it. I mean, this guy, he told us to talk and he's backing it up recently.
He has been.
But here it is, G2. Weapons in their hands now. Gonna push back this bonus round, but Cryo has purchased the operator. Teams, they opt into this, it's unexpected. And trying to set him up onto the deep line, at least Boostio will be.
Look at this, just
The drone,
walking out.
yeah, just the drone at his back. Cryo was holding the top mid angle, I believe, but now backing away.
And everybody on G2
So
was
brave.
respecting
You
this.
have no way to get out of here, Boostio. You're tagged up and the wall already broken prematurely.
It worked against them.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that the wall didn't have that armor plating on it just stuffed Boostio there. But I'm fine with them taking those level of risks on a round where their economy is not as good. Cryo is still here with the op, and Valin has no smokes. He's just used one.
Cryo's going to be looking to shove them in a locker and maybe just take the lunch money while he's at it. But finally shut down. Needs to make it with that one. Pushing through the available angles, just traded out as easily as it's done here. The rifles winning out the day for G2.
They won't necessarily anticipate EU coming around behind, but he's got to get past this turret somehow.
Shot down.
That'll do it.
That will do it. Doesn't have to worry about that angle. Knows that the players are most likely locked towards the back of the side in the anchoring position. It's going to be a tough clutch if he is going to make it happen now. He needs some nasty shots. Potentially a bit of luck on his side. Dart. It's going to be broken. Spam across the wall angle here, doubled up towards the back of the site. The shock dart is good at least to force position out wide. It gives him that information. And peace of mind now working forwards, but with the time ticking against him, that spike is starting to become a problem. Deep smoke as well. You got to push into it and force the fight to them, of which G2, they know exactly how to play it.
It's not a bad bonus round for 100 Thieves, except that they lost the operator. That's the real killer here. Cryo would have loved to get that online. It's a game changer as soon as he's able to op. On defense side, his op-in has just looked unbelievably good. To be honest, I mean, even stick a rifle in his hands, he's been fantastic too.
Yeah.
But they managed to secure their economy by putting a judge onto Boostio. And he's playing over towards B main. That's a threat that G2 are going to have to deal with a little.
Real disrespect being showcased here, especially by Asuna. It's a paranoid that's delayed. And Cryo just not feeling empowered enough that he can make the swing, but now just creeping up onto the angle with that dash active. Still, they've lost a player.
The last 3 rounds, Valin has actually been putting a smoke in A main as they take A main control. So I think Asna there believed that that was fake A main pressure because the smoke wasn't used. Might be overreading it a little, but Valin is very particularly placing that smoke there at the start of this map.
This entire series is going to be another big test for Valin. We talk about the IGL v IGL. Him versus Boostio in this match here. You can argue, you know, you play against Cloud9, you play against Crew, you can almost just adopt the same style of play. Heavy discipline from G2, punishing the hero plays, but 100 Thieves don't really play like that. They have players that pop off, but there's a lot of discipline that's been hammered into this team over time, and 100 Thieves now looking like a scary opposition.
Yeah, they focus very heavily on the utility, on the executes.
Yeah.
And so Valin's going to have to bring something new. He's playing with the big boys now, playing against Boostio.
Oh, Cryo just has to try and push forwards as well to avoid this dart, but lit up. His position was known and noted, and Icy has already broke past that initial choke point, wading right into it. Bang just seemingly unaware that that could even be a possible approach. And punished for it. It's a 2v5. Real goal for 100 Thieves here. Surely he's just seeking out the weaponry and maybe saving it into the next tier, but Boostio throws away the life, and with EU following through as well, it's a flawless start. G2 now 2-2.
And all of that talk that you were saying there about playing slowly, about the discipline stuff, that's what rewards G2 in the round. Asna goes for a little play out towards A main, baited in there, arguably, by prior round conditioning, and they get this pick. But then they pause for another minute, maybe? And isolate Cryo, who's trying to make a hero play with a recon dart, force him into taking that fight more aggressively. And this is now not the economy of 100 Thieves. We said that this was a must-win map for G2, based on the fact that 100 Thieves are 5-0 on bind, looking outrageously good there. And they're starting out well. Yes, they dropped the pistol round, but since then, it's been very strong and looking to try to take the lead here.
Yeah, they've got the economy advantage, and the ults are going to be building up momentarily. You can see Leafs just one away.
And also the patience, Brent. Starting this round again, the first 20 seconds, just waiting for 100 Thieves to make a move. Because normally, it's going to be that eco team that ends up taking the initiative. They can afford to take more gambles.
Well, spec showcased at least by G2. I mean, using the lockdown here, even against a half buy, it will clear out any possibility of there being a heavy stack onto the B site. Nanoswarm needs to be deaded as well. Autos Molly sent flying and through. Bit of a light up there onto one of the players in the tags. Paranoia sweeping past, and there's a heavy flood attempt by 100 Thieves. They're already into the action, but nobody watching the staircase. They just can't quite land the shot still. Leaf, hefty chunk of damage being played, but bit of a pause in the play being called out by them, and Leaf just decides to take the fight to them. Supportive util again. Jonah P is a player that we've been highlighting over and over again, especially on this map. Is KO, the way he just sets up and tees up his teammates for those big moments, Leaf capitalizes.
Yeah, really lovely play, because in theory, Leaf might get isolated there in B main on the anti-eco. So G2, they make it a bit expensive by using the lockdown in that spot. But the lockdown doesn't only stop a stack from being a problem, it also means that these close corners inside the smoke, a spot that Vanity, who's on the desk today, loves playing inside of, spots like logs, these kind of positions, they all get cleared out by the lockdown as well.
From the prior series.
That could well be true.
Did see Mike's tweet and say no more outlaw buys from Leaf.
Yeah, I mean, straight up, the Odin would be better there for EU, I think. Unless he's anticipating some kind of really fast play coming into him.
G2 are very slow and steady. Look at this beginning, just waiting out the initial knife. Now taking up the space over towards A, but Cryo's also got the same idea, same thoughts.
Is this not, though, the same thing that Boostio did?
The only danger here, really, I mean, Cryo does have a dash, I suppose, just to get out of there, but no one's covering his top mid angle.
I mean, he's got the turret, actually, watching the top mid angle. So he will get some information.
It won't stop you from Leaf just Giga Chat swinging out and trying to punish.
Well,
drone, spotted, smoke at the feet, up, draft, and back and away. Okay, good movement from Cryo.
And that's because he knows that there was a player over there towards top mid, but that started the exec for G2.
Yeah, Valan's going to be making the call for this one here, just trying to cut up those angles. No one's dealing with. Bang! He's holding it down in a nice position. Steady aim and a steady hand as well. It's going to be guiding them right into a round win. Spikes drop down in the middle of nowhere, drop to the knees as Jonah P. Eventually he will fall as well.
And so momentum beginning here for 100 Thieves in all likelihood. 30 seconds for G2 to try to recover this in a 2v4.
30 seconds left.
Very unlikely. There's a chance for Cryo to get punished early on. And as soon as they realize the op is not holding towards A, they're like, okay, let's send it.
They're going to have time here.
I mean,
17 seconds. They look like they want to make a go of it. Boostio's going to be...
surely not.
Surely not. I mean, 12 seconds now.
They have the money for it, but
10 seconds
Get the
left.
gonna be able to
stopwatch
get
out,
in
man.
here.
Get the stopwatch out. I mean, they're bunny hopping all the way in. 6 seconds, 5
enemy
seconds.
remaining.
Spikes drop down, so no chances.
Spike down, B.
well, they take another weapon away from Boostio, and remember, it's the economy of 100 Thieves that's in danger here. So going 1-for-1 there and just sending it into B is actually not that bad for them. 100 Thieves, though, needed that round to be able to build a little bit of stability. They couldn't afford the op to be ripped away once again. And G2 are responding instantly here with a tactical timeout of their own. We've only played 6 rounds, and yet both teams have taken a moment to hit the pause button.
That's interesting.
And discuss up over towards tiles to start the round. No Odin usage from EU throughout. I mean, to be honest, most of the time that we've seen them play, the 100 Thieves have not played much Ascent, so not much call for it. And of course, they ban Lotus as well, so the 2 big Odin maps they don't really play. But EU here, with Vandal in hand, backside anchor already.
Boostio's, I believe, just playing that. Yeah, just on the staircases here, onto the angle. It's a cross-map knife. Tags up a few of these players here. There's no other map control for G2. They can't really afford to pivot in any other direction because, I mean...
Remember, G2 ran this exact same round, actually, when we watched them play against Crew.
Yeah.
And they got caught by a recon dart. EU threw a recon dart in.
Right around now.
And realized that Icy was here in B main and they had to cancel the hit. This time, the recon saved for the exec itself.
Yep. Now all the way over the top. Boostio puts it straight out of the sky. It's Clay Pigeon shooting. Just got to dodge and dock and weave away on the Hunter's Fury. Flash over. Beautiful. I mean, just a dart is laying them all up. It's easy pickings for everybody. With the flood defense called.
I think that's too much hesitation for G2 there. Send it in after Icy. I understand that you want the Sovereign off the back of that too, but a lot of hesitation over towards lane. They gave EU chances to deal with Dicey, dodge the Sovereign, throw out a recon, and wait for a flash with which to fight. All before G2 had just walked from the choke point into the site. Of course, you want to be playing disciplined, but you've also got to find that killer instinct, and 100 Thieves there just given a little too much space with which to work.
A lot of concern, I think, as well around Cryo with this operator. I mean, a lot of discussions, and I mean, if you've been watching the games, you know that he's playing in some of the best form in quite some time. He's been getting active.
It's definitely the best Cryo we've ever seen with 100 Thieves.
Yeah. Quick dash though, they want to take up tree control here. Asuna is on the line here. Bang follows up and through with the bullets.
Spike down A.
Beautiful little swing here. 100 Thieves so damn proactive. With Boostio going down, they know exactly where Leaf is here. Swarm into position. They will not let him get away with that.
Bang has been monstrous in spots where his site gets pressured. A great paranoia. Able to isolate everybody over towards Tree and Asuna as well, anticipating perhaps. I don't know really whether he expects Icy to be pushing him or whether he's just going for a spam kill through the smoke, but either way.
Oh, you're joking.
One bullet. But look at how good that flash is. Just allows Bang to swing around and pick up 2 there. These defensive setups, they look a little more passive to me from 100 Thieves. They're almost allowing G2 to take map control, just saying, all right, we've watched your footage and we don't actually think you're that good on the execs. That, to me, seems to be a bit of the read that the Thieves have here.
And again, another round where G2, they don't have any of that spread out map control. They are going to be looking like it's an attempt to split into B. They're through mid now. Main control as well going to be gained here just from the drone. Tags up onto Cryo. That's a critical target. Going to be removing them away from that sight line, but they still have to worry about the anchoring players. Now Cryo outside the Blade Storm, seeking a slice and dice his way through at least any available scenario with Hunter's Fury. And Boostio standing his ground, rooted to the spot, eventually dislodged. TP from Bang. He's committing into the fight now, at least with the paranoia, but it just blocks up his village in time. Coming straight through back at you. EU now, left in a 1v3.
Spike plant and
They're not going to be denied. They are weak. Suppressed though. Wait for it to fade here. Maybe pray for a couple of smam. Spam kills. There's the first one. Obstacle removed. 2 more to deal with.
Revealing area.
Dart's back online. There's only one player that can break down. That's going to be revealing the position of Icy. Shock Dart. Doesn't connect. A smoke by Valen. Still, it just separates it, but now left into that 1v1, of which Valen will succeed.
And they grab their 4th. 100 Thieves tried to send in utility to be able to fight around. They even ulted Bang into backside to try to set up that defensive assistance. And it looked like it was going to work until Icy barreled through and picked off both of those players. Boostio goes down to the entry of this newly awoken Jet player. And then this,
Enemy remaining.
you know, a great flash over the top from Asuna.
Nice try there. Good damage, good damage.
I wanted to say proud.
But Icy gets it done. Scrim Icy coming out. And 4 caught here for 100 Thieves.
It's going to give a nice indicator. Already you've seen the rotations.
Yeah, look, they're going for the rotate. I think that's an unusual call a little, because the pace that G2 are playing at is not super fast. But they're going to be here in the right spot.
Anything to deal with this one? Lockdown doesn't actually cover that corner. Both Bang.
They're going to throw
and
you
Cryo.
for it.
Really good in this spot. Not just that. I mean, Boostio also has a lockdown of his own, but in his own. Nobody watching that angle.
No thought.
But yeah, okay, not going to be able to get out of there. Still lighting him up with the cross-map recon. Bang. Even within his own smokes, and he's buying enough time at least for EU to just rain down the lead from the on high position. This guy just collecting up every kill imaginable.
Gets the Odin out, gets 4. EU wasn't able to convert on the clutch previously. You heard it from the guys. Nice try, almost. 11 and 4 now, top of the scoreboard. He was amazing against G2 in Tier 2. When G2 themselves won through Ascension and earned their spot, EU was fantastic against them. He was also the best player when these two teams played up against each other earlier on in the year. Finding moments to have impact like that is going to be important. And he swapped out the Odin immediately back for a Vandal. Just doesn't like the gun.
Well, this is G2 just throwing a quick round into the mix here. They've been slow and steady pretty much for all of their attack side rounds, and they will be punished just as easily, swatted away. These anchoring plays of 100 Thieves. Stalwart defenders at the sides and even the mid angle. There's no opportunities for G2.
There's some confidence though, isn't there, from the defenders there. EU's sprinting down mid to look to try to cut them off. Doesn't want to give them any opportunities. They've only got a Ghost and a Classic. You don't want to give him a weapon.
Enemy remaining.
Looking like he wants to take the fight to them anyway. Drop the 15. Shock Dart has to get out of it. Will be ran down, but he knows where Trent's position is. Potentially donating a rifle, but he just can't quite find it actually.
7-4, the lead for 100 Thieves. If they can get an 8th online, this is a great
Last
recovery
round
for them.
in the half.
This final round, really, this is like the knife's edge between a great defense and one where you feel like the attackers have gotten away with a little too much. At 7-5, G2 are going to be feeling great about it. But again, a reminder that from where we're stood, with the fact that 100 Thieves are 5-0 on bind, I know that Vanity leaked that G2 have changed their bind comp, but you're still expecting that to be an extraordinarily difficult map coming up for G2.
The uphill battle.
This round would be massive for them, and they have the tools for it. Hunter's Fury, Null Command. If they can get a read, and Asuna has just walked out instantly.
I mean, this is insane.
Get info gelato.
What is this read? I mean, there haven't been many spread defaults. Asuna though will
It's a fake.
be suppressed, yeah, by the Null Command. Spreading out wide, but Boostio's not giving up this space. Look at this guy. He's gonna be able to hold it, almost expecting it with the potential positioning. They're just trying to convert it into that mid take as well, into the B split. The bait and switch, but they did not deal with this guy. The IGL still
No more.
trying to juke as well. These bullets coming through. G2 are finding these advantages. Icy looking up behind them, and they know exactly where EU is just from that Hunter's Fury that was let loose and let rip.
And now the fake becomes the real take. Those players on A never got stopped. And so now it's all down to Bang to try to pick up the pieces. He's got no information. I mean, there's an Omen ult all over the place as well. People could be literally anywhere, all around the map. It would be an outrageous 1v3 for him to pick up. And I think he's just going to end up exposing his back here to Trent.
First level of it is expecting Trent, which some level of clearance, but just pokes out the shoulder and it gives him the easy one. So 7-5 finish here for G2, and like you said, Josh, I mean, this really is a good half for G2.
Switching
Yeah,
sides.
it's decent. 5 rounds on the attack side of Ascent. No matter which way the pistol round goes, G2 are still going to be feeling like they can come back on the defense side. But I think that's the case for both teams. I think both squads will be fairly happy about the rounds that they've put up
Enemy remaining.
and their chances of winning.
Nice. 5 round, boys. Let's get pistol.
Bro, that's so sad. I was looking at the top.
Trend has sealed up that half, at least with that final blow. And let's hear.
And there's your stats. Both of these teams yet to lose on Ascent. But it's 100 Thieves that we really don't know too much about, to be honest. And this certainly wasn't a defense half where Cryo took over. And he's going to look to entry here.
Right, it's an explosive beginning. Look at this, 100 Thieves just trying to send it straight, flying through into the B site. That has to be broken and dealt with, and it is just so. Still, the shock darts, long-range artillery. I mean, this has chunked down the players. I mean, just look to the left here. Red health bars disappearing before your very screens. You might see the fill, at least the feed filled up, maybe potentially here, all entirely the 100 Thieves to taking it to them. Not letting this flood defense occur, and G2 are shut down as quickly as that.
What a call! What an awesome call there from 100 Thieves. With barely any health between them, they decided to go proactively and take the fight to G2. That was a flood defense, and normally what you'll see there is the post-plant team bunker down. They take their position, set up crossfires, and try to stop their opponents. They don't run back upstairs and back up lane to try to fight them. That was nasty good. Utilizing the fact that they had players in B main and tucked logs, those kind of spots. A great pistol round from 100 Thieves there. That's going to set them up quite nicely, winning both pistols in this map. And still not with a dominant advantage just yet.
But it might turn into one.
Certainly could.
Right now, free and easy access given over towards the A site. The knife is definitely going to be giving them that acknowledgement. Heavy rotation by G2.
Asuna missing the molly, but doesn't matter whatsoever. Asuna's the player that you want to load the ult orbs into, I think, but EU's taking matters into his own hands.
He certainly is. It'll go down. He was the one with the ghost, so he doesn't donate them a weapon. Putting the fear of God into the heart of G2. And their options are particularly limited. Cryo, got to be concerned here about going down.
Leaf could take him out with the shorty so easily.
Just not going to drive by, it's not enough.
I think it only did 6 damage.
Bit of shorty giveth and taketh away. And they're just looking for this last player. They know Icy's seeking to deny his life to the spike, but really just every single spot managed here by 100 Thieves, just trying to hunt down and get every advantage available for them to try and close out this map.
I think that was a missed opportunity for them to start loading more orbs into Asuna, and they could have had Null Command basically online for this round and started that snowball, the avalanche that we talk about so often with these attack teams.
Enemy remaining.
Yeah, I'm not going to put that one in a highlight reel, to be honest, even if you give it a slow-mo.
Guaranteed assist. I do like that, though.
So, heading into the next, 100 Thieves group up tiles again. Boostio, known for great calls such as hit B 12 times in a row.
Surely Trend just stuns them.
Placing swarm
Crossfire Nano Swarms is going to be orchestrating. Pretty obvious now that this is going to be a B hit coming through, up and over the top, fully blinded up. That util! It's perfection in motion. And still just punishing any attempt to try and flood through all of these smokes. Spamming away, Cryo. A little bit of punishment there. 2v3. So he opened up enough of a window here for Icy to take over.
Last player
Not
standing.
quite. Log's position locked down here by Boostio, and Valin, difficult decision. But he got to back away from this one. It was that full investment by G2, and this is the map now slipping away from them.
I think you can see the preparation already from 100 Thieves. They're going into B hits like they did on the pistol. And the next important round, back to a B hit.
Yeah.
Whenever the economy is equal. And you could see why. I mean, Leaf wasn't just flashed. He was sent to another dimension. He was running around, rubbing his face up against the wall.
Yeah,
no idea where he was.
No idea. And that's the different type of test you're going to get when you go up against a team like 100 Thieves. Putting all their eggs in the exec basket.
I want to see a replay of it because
Yeah.
the flash timing there was just perfect, and it caught Leaf on a more aggressive position.
I think it is a difficult test here for G2 at least. I mean, they've had to deal with these, individual hero plays. The discipline really carries you through with that, but what do you do when all this util's flying forwards? Like, what do you do when your defensive setups are getting picked apart like this?
No, I mean, look at him. He's walking into a wall. He's like a man stumbling out of club at 4 a.m. He's completely lost there. And fun to watch what he's able to do with this 100 Thieves squad. But yeah, they are running away with it right now. This is a desperate situation for G2. This is the perfect time to try to make some kind of thrifty round work.
And here it is, 4 players. Shoulder to shoulder. Brothers in arms looking for play in mid. All of them joined up as well, just holding inside. Deep Knife doesn't get any sort of acknowledgement, and 100 Thieves, they just take that timing and all that information, noise and sound cues, whatever it was, just defaulting into their A hit. Gotta be concerned with the flanks. If G2 have any chance, arguably in the map, maybe even the series, is the kind of argument we've been making. Has to begin now, but already
Bang's
Valorant
watching for it.
Yeah,
So early on.
just dropped. Speaking of it, Cryo will fall up through the heaven angle. Trent, did he expect this? What? It's got to be a necessary kill. Bang again, shuts it down. Lit up. The dart pushing back. Any chance here for G2?
It's looking really nicely coordinated from 100 Thieves. Very aware of the gaps that G2 might try to exploit and stopping them before they even become a danger. Okay, these are just consolation kills at the end of the day. They don't even really do much to the economy. 100 Thieves get up to 11. They're running away with this. And this on Ascent, a map that we've only seen them play once. It was, you know, they're 1-0 on it. In theory, 100% win rate. But
weeks ago, though, weeks ago.
Exactly. You just don't know how they were going to perform here today. But this squad is looking sublime. And again, we're moving into Bind after this, a map that they are simply incredible on, and no one will ban against them. This is the round. This is the round for Icy to have impact. I think if you're looking at a player, he's got the off.
It's got to happen now. Early night from Asuna. Clears out that cat angle. Still with the jump spots, though. Respect shown by EU. So only real player into mid here. Might be even just trying to make it feign and feel like a bit of a B split. But with the deep dart, it's also used at the same time by Trent. They should know that there's no one into B main. Icy.
They're walking back into Icy's up.
Yeah, and this is the time to come alive, isn't it? Paranoia. Swoops through, has to sidestep it. Another flash, these layers of util. Icy just cannot get set up for success. The time to strike is pretty much over. Sights gained for 100 Thieves. Players are in position. Looking to delay this one now with a no command. It's going to radiate out. Asuna stopping any and all abilities.
And they're expecting this to delay the G2 retake and buy time for EU to go on this flank. I mean, look at this. The Sova lurk flank. Can't get any value out of the recon.
The knife as well. It just keeps coming, man. Waves of it, layers of it. Stopping them in their tracks. EU getting a bit of a move on with none the wiser. Everybody drops and falls. 100 Thieves. I mean, domination is putting it lightly, I think, for this map. It's 12 and 5. You're heading into almost home ground territory for them onto the next map. I mean, it feels like we're rolling out the red carpet for the finals.
It certainly does. Whichever team wins here has a massive advantage in the grand finals, is likely to be going straight to the playoffs of Shanghai, has a great opportunity to make a run at that tournament. This match matters so much, and 100 Thieves are just running away with it. It's not a contest now that the sides have swapped.
Scanning ahead.
Making it look easy. They want to finish this one. Explosive in nature! Look at this guy! Flying forwards, no smoke in the choke to really block them away, and Icy has to deliver. Finds at least 2, the dash now activated. Long-range dart to supplement and support these defensive players, but he just does not expect Cryo to be coming from that angle. It's a 2v3. And whatever opportunity that Icy may have bought is now arguably squandered. It's up for Leaf and Trent. See if they can pull off the impossible, but 100 Thieves running away with it. Door in Trent's face has to be broken. First part of the puzzle, but they know exactly where Leaf is.
He gets posted.
Drone avoided. Out wide though, it's a double face, and they know exactly where Trent is. It should be done, and indeed it is. That's a 13-5 finish on map 1. And 100 Thieves, I mean...
In fact, it looks like they 100% do.
I would make that argument.
Do they have the best bind in the world? That's what we're going to figure out when we go to Shanghai. But let's see these anti-strats then. You noted Vanity was talking about it. They do pair the initiator utility, and they go for a lot of execute-heavy stuff. on Bind. It just works on this map. It's super good. But does that mean that we're going to get stuff like this, where you push out behind them and try to set up flanks as soon as the retake comes through?
He might be onto something. It's a heavy reflank attempt by 3 of these players. Trying to work them way behind. I mean, it's going to be up to Bang to put a stop to it.
I think you should read this. Icy didn't use plant denial utility. You should be expecting a flank. And Bang must be. The question is how many?
Well, losing the first duel here. Asuna onto the high ground position. That is snappy. This guy adjusting for the aim, but blinded up. And the peaks are coming through. It's thick and fast here by G2. Boostio looks down at one angle here. Time's running against them. Let's send out that util here. The C's won't really be doing too much here. Gotta land these shots. They do it. I mean, they're preventing it with the wingman. Breaking him down. It's gonna be the bodyguard. Angled! Boostio! Oh, he delivers! A Red Bull clutch. He's on his feet.
Of course he is. He only sits down to play. Any other time, he's on his feet. And he should be after that one. What a great clutch. He denies the wingman without exposing himself to either of the 2 players he's in a 1v2 against. And then somehow manages here to isolate the fight onto Trent and then get a swing onto Jonah P. He just plays that situation so well.
And already we're straight back into it.
And the anti-strat actually fairly decent. And here comes a Showers Crunch, putting pressure on EU as Asuna dives into sight.
Amazing movement. Sees no connection, a lot of damage done, but he's got backup. Reinforcements arriving, seeking to bail him out.
One enemy remaining.
And you can see here that G2 do have some ideas of what they want to do against the 100 Thieves classic executes. But how deep does it go? Is it just that they want to push out of defense fairly heavily? Because I think Boostio is going to get the read on that after a while. Are there more ideas? Are they going to work when rifles are online?
Theory only takes you so far. Money online at least for G2. Look at this, I mean, that's so good. And there's so many different looks that the 100 Thieves go for with the pathing of Asuna. You can take it in multiple directions depending on whether or not the Dizzy tags somebody backside, squeezing a player, taking the showers.
Yeah, when you have initiator info utility with the Fade and the Gecko, you can do a lot of protocols where you do one thing if it finds someone and you do a different thing if it doesn't. So you add a lot of different looks just based on the beginning portion of your execute or your map control. This smoke is really interesting inside Hookah here. Just potentially stopping somebody from taking an aggressive angle.
Yeah, it forces 100 Thieves to use a lot of util. Not even worried about the chance of somebody going through the TP, sending that util forwards. Leaf just spotting the one. Acknowledgement. Missing the snake bite. Land particularly in the choke here. Jonah P seeking some of that mid-round information. Really does feel like it's going to be a B-take. It's up to these G2 players to stop it.
And because of Cryo's smoke, Leaf doesn't know if Asuna is on the left side or the right side of Hookah, so he can't really challenge that. Can't re-clear that very easily either.
Dizzy must be broken. Long range here with a haunt on. Additionally, Jonah P.
Here comes Trent. Reinforcements.
Flash, and yep, players are starting to follow through and up onto this one. A bit of a pause being called here by 100 Thieves. I mean, they're throwing G2 for a bit of a loop, wondering which direction they're going to be going into here. I mean, 24 seconds left onto the clock. Time is against them, and already the players are taking the fight straight to them. It's Leaf. They can TP. Dropping it down with a mosh pit TP, and they're going to be starting to pivot here. Now, the essential player becomes Icy. This guy's locked to the side. Jonah P right behind them. He's going to be watched for. Nades blocking him off. 8 seconds left. This spike needs to be planted, and it needs to be a defense online for it. Players, it's dropped, and G2 just cannot defend against it. An extension into the round is gained and earned, and the players falling all over the place. 2v2 in the moment, and Trent just might be able to do it. 1v1. Him versus EU. Made a lot of noise and sound cues. With Phantom in hand, he dispels it.
And these 2 initiators that were incredible in Tier 2 lock horns again with Trent coming out on top. But there were so many opportunities for G2 to wrap up that round way earlier, and they missed their shots. Bang and Cryo bailed 100 Thieves out with time ticking down. Only 10 seconds left. And they hit some big kills to open things up and get the plant down. That's going to do a bit of eco damage there. It's a decent bonus for 100 Thieves. They've got Thrash, they've got Nightfall. They can set up for some kind of fast execute play. And Leaf, the player that, when I checked recently, had used the most weapons out of anybody in Americas, was dominant with the Outlaw and now picks up the Judge in his next game. He'd love to get some impact out of this, but how do you contest against a Thrash?
Thrash for the Boombot mosh pit. The Prowler EU is going to be safe, just catching that one. And I mean, talking about catching, Leaf just one to the dome. Will fall, close, tight angle. Flash didn't connect, Jonah P. Thinking it was safer, but he's just trying to beat a playmaker in the moment. And this is the big test you're going to be coming up against with this 100 Thieves team on their attack sides, is can you stop these execs? That's the #1 thing that's going to be asked of you over and over again.
And frankly, the answer is no for every single team. And Valin looking like he had something to say at the end there, but shut down. Nobody's been able to hold on against 100 Thieves.
No.
And it makes me think back to Sentinel's run through Madrid, where they had one map that they could rely on, and other teams did not want to take it away from them because they all had permabans, and Sen were just able to have this backbone to their map pool of Split for them, Bind, of course, for 100 Thieves. The comparisons are so apt, I think, when you're looking forward to what 100 Thieves might be able to do at Shanghai. A fan base that wants wins, demands wins, bloodthirsty if the players don't give them wins.
And how long has it been since this team was even at some sort of international event?
Yeah,
qualifying for it.
They qualified by winning LCQ. They got to champs in 2022. That's the last one where they deserved their spot at a global event.
Years ago.
Yeah, so long ago. So these 100 Thieves fans and players have been hungry for success, and now with the addition of Boostio, Zix, and a little bit of time, they're getting into a good spot.
Boostio's got incredible awareness here. There could be that possibility. Leaf wins that fight out, though. Still the lone player. And there's a flood call. The attempt, the weapons, not too ideal, but G2 still able to get the job done. Nightfall now has to be expended, committed. Only the one trail. Dodged into the backline here by Valin.
Yeah, it's actually this flank that I'm taking a look at over here of Icy. Is there any chance he could win this fight?
Stinger is up close, but still just doesn't manage it with a crosshair placement.
Even the small things, the G2 flanks, the thing that they were relying on, it looks like, to be able to push them over the line and create some disruption to the way that 100 Thieves are playing, they're all falling down as well.
Yeah.
100 Thieves' awareness is really good. And the antis just haven't quite been there just yet. There are a lot of things that you can read into. The way that 100 Thieves plays, it can be a bit straight up on this map sometimes.
Okay, we're way too good for these people.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, well, let's keep running.
We are way too good for these people. I mean, listen, they talk the talk, but they are absolutely walking it at the moment as well.
Caesar with very little to connect onto it here. It's again a fast play by 100 Thieves. It's nothing out of the ordinary. A lot of ults being committed here, but just a 1-for-1. And Valin, I mean, none the wiser. Asuna just passed directly over the top of the truck. Took him straight out with a shot to the side of the temple. Jonah P seeking to contest and corral these players deep inside the showers. There's a high-low, doubled-up setup. And now it has to be miracle runs. It has to be hero plays. G2 just don't have it in them. Again, it really does feel just like a coronation.
Yeah, it's the same as the end of Ascent. It feels like G2 are putting up no resistance on their defense side. They've won one round on both maps on defense. And that was when they had an eco advantage as well, when 100 Thieves were coming in on their bonus round here on Bind. 5 ultimates available for G2, but no money really to speak of. They could try to cobble together some kind of half buy. I mean, look at this. Valin has no clue there. As soon as one piece of the defense falls, due to overwhelming utility, then the rest of it just all
powerful on this map. And it just calls into question, how do you stop it? How good is your defensive util? How good is your protocols? G2, I think they have had some ideas. You saw them using the deep smoke into hookah. Here's another one for you on a half buy round. Got to take these risks. It's a deep Viper ore placed onto the B-long angle. Both the initiators over there as well, so chances for them to flash through and fight if they wanted to.
And the problem is 100 Thieves have got such excellent A and B fast execs. You can only have 3 players at the start of the round on one side of the map. We've actually seen Trent hovering around in spawn a lot on defense. He's been starting some of the rounds. like where you buy guns, just waiting to rotate.
Is way out in the open. They are just not expecting that one, thinking the site was clear. They go for a showers crunch.
Free
no
B
real
site.
util. And yeah, now this has to be an indicator you can just go B. Maybe 100 Thieves might overthink it, but surely you hear the footsteps. Bang should be coming this one.
I mean, he's going to be coming here that they sound like they're going back over to B.
Maybe if you get to kill as well, they do have control over it. Give me these timings. What are the util? Getting that acknowledgement. TP. Rocket flying forwards. Nade. That lands and connects, and just a real struggle to get these kills. Icy earning one of his own. A Satchel to just evade the capture of all these bullets being sent their way. Not enough to reset it. 2v2. It's gotten scrappy into the mix of all of it. Orbital strike forcing them back and away. Even the Thrash as well, all being combined here, should be an entertainment, and indeed it is. So Bang needs to be defended. Will they approach the angle, or are they worried about EU? It looks like that is the case, but time is running against them now, and they know it. G2 realizing that they can just hold their ground. Dizzy gets that connection onto the two of them. 7 seconds left, and Valorant holding the tight and close quarter. It's just inevitable for that. A thrifty win for G2 to get it online. I mean, it wasn't pretty, Josh. I'll say it. It wasn't pretty.
It was not pretty at all. 100 Thieves, the only reason they didn't immediately go into that B exec as soon as they hear the teleports is it's an eco round. G2 might be stacking with like 4 players and it'd be part of their strategy. They don't realize the site is completely free for them. But then when they get in, the wingman gets denied. The rest of 100 Thieves kept out at the choke point. And Asana's entry is forestalled as well. Definitely the worst round we've seen played from 100 Thieves in the, I think in the match so far. Can it give G2 a little opening here? Any opportunity desperately needed for G2.
A lot of util. The Dizzy sent flying. It's too much to really watch for Jonah P. Just trying to hold that tight angle again. Everybody sent through. TP straight to showers. They haven't cleared this one. They're going to use the Thrash now to do the job for them. Nade rebounds. Good timing on it from Icy. You almost going down to this one. Just seeking to delay with all that util. Still plenty more where that came from as well. But all that util back and forth. The pendulum swinging. Standing their ground and fighting them out. 100 Thieves overwhelming them.
Look how difficult it is to hold on against 100 Thieves. There's a Thrash that comes through there. Then a Prowler afterwards as well. There's a Seize Nade, a back triple. Where can you stand?
You're just in the trenches.
There's
too
nowhere.
much to account for.
And then Bind itself, what, you're going to try to retake through Heaven and Spawn? These are the tiniest choke points imaginable. Look at Trent trying to get his way out of there. A lot of teams like to try to play plant denial, but there's no safe spaces against the way the 100 Thieves play to hold them in the choke points. They just group up Death Ball and hit you all at once. And again, if you could get some kind of read at the very beginning of the round, exactly which of the sites they're going to hit, maybe you could put up some kind of defense, but there's not too many tells until they're suddenly on top of you. Here, though, good proactivity on defense as G2 on the eco. They push out, clearing Fountain. But this is just going to set them up for something similar to the pistol, where they had multiple players coming behind. Again, though, as soon as 100 Thieves take the site for free and they don't see any defensive utility, they've got to be thinking
Don't
flank.
expect it. Yeah.
You have to. Where else are they going to be? They're just all in spawn, playing retake? It doesn't make sense.
Bangs in a far back off-angle position. It's the same peak angle as before,
Deja
actually.
vu.
I mean, yeah, actual deja vu. Beautiful flying.
Right there.
No setup, though, for these G2 players, but they do have that advantage now. Trying to put the squeeze onto Boostio. Tries to take the fight with a rifle. Upended and offloaded. Wingman trying to get onto the defuse. Denied and stopped. Rocket flying. Everybody falls. G2. That's what you need. A bit of an injection into the round. A change of pace.
And nicely done. Mostly due to hitting the shots. They might need to double up another player with Bang there. And Bang is holding an off angle where he should be favored, but Trent knows exactly where he's going to be positioned, and that's twice now that we've seen G2 able to start a pincer retake because Bang falls on defending the flank. If Bang and Cryo are doubled up, and Cryo can still, play post-plant mollies or something from that spot, it's a useful position for him to be at. That'll add another layer to stop G2 from getting those plays from happening. So the the anti-work in there.
Yeah, anti-or adjustments, whatever you want to call it. Might just be some on-the-fly calling. I mean, Icy is now in a really forward position. And with the Viper's Pit, this is a lot of avenues now that are not going to be available for 100 Thieves to set up into those nice, well-drilled executes. Forcing them back into this double hold setup.
Is there any chance that 100 Thieves do not clear Icy in this position? I think Trent's going to have to sell it really well.
Boombot, not broken.
Didn't break it.
Not broken. Icy, what are you going to do here? Nade rebounds, has the satchels, standing his ground, but a vulnerability applied with a snake bite, all the damage there. G2 trying to take the fight straight to them here. Beautiful sees of the connection. Trent now, well, the sound cues cut away, and they are none the wiser. You're already going to be posted up onto that high ground position, just trying to take the fight towards them. A solo push from Boostio is going to be punished. Trent locking it down with his position. Jonapedo immediately answered back and dropped into the 1v1. This pit.
That doesn't
Setup, I don't think it stretches.
No, that doesn't look like it does.
Just out of range. And bang now. Lost the timing! Just on a knife's edge. That's how the round goes sometimes.
And it's Leaf that ends up pulling it away there in the 1v1. But I think, listen, my personal hero in that round for G2, it's got to be Trent. I was talking about how there's no safe positions on site to be able to deal with things, but they forced out so much utility with Icy playing in this spot. Hey, look, the molly gets used.
Yep.
Asuna ends up falling, so there's no nade. They use the C's coming out, and Trent still managed to play around triple and default and get 2 in that spot and make things winnable for Leaf. And then it's just based on timing towards the end. G2 have actually managed to knock the economy. He's stepping up. And G2 need a hero right now.
This is it, a good chance for G2. Make it even half.
I mean, that would be amazing.
You'd be sitting pretty. Yeah. Steep flash. Oh, at least the deep smoke. Locking it down is what we were talking about earlier. It's going to be delaying 100 Thieves, but only for a moment. It's a nightfall. Combined up, Satchel plays. Asuna being stopped down in his tracks. Snake bite and the decay damage. All there with the detainment. They can't quite find the other player, but Icy knows it's being accosted onto it. Finally, EU reveals himself. Gets the upgrade, spraying it down, and true.
Now a 1v4 here for EU would be back-breaking in terms of G2's chances. He's only got 30 health. He would die to a single bullet from that Vandal.
Surely no chances. Fallon and Trent, I mean, they just double up. Molly, back through elbow. Dizzy, doesn't see anything. EU taking up, vacuuming up the space, all about finding the ones. But it's there, safety in numbers. The IGL has it in his grasp. Valen closing this one out, close to it, honestly, as we're approaching that final round of this first half. And they might be able to equalize it.
This is already a lot better than I was expecting G2 to be able to do here in this first half of Bind. I like the idea. Again, 100 Thieves using that deep smoke inside Hookah, but this time popping through it with a judge. Cool play. Allowing them to take Hookah without too much utility, but Icy's there. Steps up, and then they shut down EU. Boostio has Thrash. Cryo with 1 kill or a plant would get Orbital Strike online as well.
Look at Icy's position.
Icy is literally just playing
Look at this guy.
rotate right now.
Yeah.
Because 100 Thieves are so good at fast hits on either side, he's just following the noise. Oh, it looks like a B long take?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go and reinforce B with my showstopper.
Just from them hearing the Dizzy. Trailblazer. Broken, set it up. Spotting potentially 2 players there.
I don't know about the FOV of the
Yeah,
Trailblazer
might
there.
have got it, but at least the Dizzy's broken. Icy can afford to play this close quarters angle. Boombot spots it out! Rocket denied! It's only the 1-for-1! An absolute shocker, to be honest. Felt like that was almost just destined to be an explosive end to the round.
Absolutely had a chance there, Icy, to be able to tie things up at the half. But now, advantage back over to Boostio and Cryo, who both have their ultimates.
Bring them down.
They've somehow been able to reset this fairly heavily, and Valen is trying to make the play to win things again.
Taking
The push
risks.
out allowing them to still have a triple stack B.
Oh,
he knows this is
it's a fake. Yeah, no one is following up on this Thrash. He knows exactly where Boostio is. He's making a call, and already the rotations.
What an outplay.
And
30
Swarm in a
seconds
position.
left.
And Valin, this backstab ready and waiting. Doesn't take it for the knife, just with the rifle, good enough. At the end of the day, G2.
Down B.
Chokehold onto the site. Last player noted and known and stricken off the list. 6-6 finish for G2. I did not think we would be saying that. But my God, these adjustments, they pay off.
That's 4 rounds in a row
Yeah.
to end things. Round 9 and 10, massive performances by Trent. Then they get the eco round afterwards to make it 3 in a row and close out round 12 with Valin taking that mid-round walk, the gamble, the risk out through showers, even after Icy had lost control of that opportunity. Well, the pushes on defense, the flanks, they did actually end up being rewarded there in the final 4.
Well, Vanity putting a focus, it looks like on the showers control, I suppose, for 100 Thieves there. I mean, the bane of most gamers, but let's see. And already grouped up, looking like they want to take a bit of a gamble approach over towards it, just contacting most of the way.
Similar read to what Vanity was talking about.
But I mean, just a pixel to work with. Boostio, it's rewarded in kind. Now you might see the attempt to just try and push their way through, but a Dizzy just upend that. Any ideas? Got to call the cancel out for G2. At least you do get the orb, but starting a player down.
One of the things that I think 100 Thieves are amazing at on this map is going for defense re-clears. When they lose a portion of map control, they gain information so quickly by re-clearing it. And Showers is probably the only area that they don't do that super aggressively. They have re-clear strategies and early round set plays all across the rest of the map. And EU has still not been denied his info here over towards B long. It still feels like B is empty. Until suddenly, you spot them over towards Hookah.
Bang sees it. Gonna let loose at least with the snake bite. It's gonna be dropping them down. And look at that utility! Sees connects. Trail to bound. Leaf, the last one left. One singular man, one singular Leaf. He's got to do a lot here. Definite damage done, but really just too much to overcome.
1 against 100. Flawless pistol round for 100 Thieves. It's impressive that G2 have got to this point. They've pushed 100 Thieves on a map that they are undefeated on in stage 1. But we also saw in Ascent that they had a close first half, and then 100 Thieves just ran away with it.
Yeah.
They can't afford for that to happen again. If you've put in all of this work and preparation time, you want to get things across the line. And what a setup this was. EU had the freedom to play that crossfire because Leaf did not shove him off the angle early enough. He knew that there was no pressure coming from B long early. The 4-1 split there, not really applying enough pressure to what 100 Thieves were doing on defense.
100 Thieves aware now. Send the Prowler out through showers. They notice it's going to be ending at least into the B hit. Mosh pit, snake bite, all overlaid.
That's good work forcing out that utility in the first 20 seconds.
Yeah.
If they can condition 100 Thieves to do that and then explode into a kind of, fake A, go back to B site hit, we see here that Leaf's been inserted B.
Oh, that was unintentional. Reveal the position with a bit of a right click.
Yeah, I mean, I think that perfectly happy letting them know they're short. I think this is ending B. I mean, either through the teleport or back over towards Hookah.
Yeah.
Just because of Leaf's positioning and the fact that they forced out the Mosh early on.
Trouble is, no kills to the name. The economy is in shambles.
And I'm actually surprised that 100 Thieves have not called a re-clear over towards an area of the map.
Wow, just trying to make the most of it. Walking right into the sight lines. Boostio is going to post himself up.
30 seconds left.
Even want to take some fight to it. Look at this. Okay, Leaf is rattling away the shots. Definitely doing some damage, but not enough to convert. So, round at 100 Thieves were supposed to win. They do end up doing so. It's going to be a pretty healthy bonus round, I think, heading into the next.
Yeah, definitely. A rifle, bulldog, guardian. Chances of being able to pull something away. But here, I don't think that was a particular tell. You see here they're trying to soften up the B site, make it feel like they're heading back towards short, and then use that insert of Leaf over towards B long.
Stay focused.
I think once you get rifles online though, 100 Thieves are normally so proactive at clearing areas that the attackers have put presence into.
Prowler's popping out where G2 are playing. Also cool here. I mean, 100 Thieves.
Bring them down.
Second Prowler now being used. As soon as they hear the Trailblazer, they were set up maybe for the C's. Nades, satchels around. Asuna definitely spammable. The Horde though doing the work. Spike's still going to be planted. Trent just trying to get back that utility, the backside control entirely in the way of 100 Thieves in the seas. Teba tucking him close to the spot. Mosh pit at his back. Trent really with nowhere to run, but he at least has the crossfire set up. Him and Leaf try and play this one together. Dizzy, it's broken. Up and around. Need to land these shots, and land them they will. G2 finding the marks. One target left. That's EU dropped to the floor.
Fantastic crossfire setup there from G2. They had no post-plant utility to use. They could not play off-site, and they had to try to just break util and fight. And with that economy advantage, they win the round. But they've lost the eco advantage now. They're not going to be able to get 5 rifles into the next round.
Now we're cooking.
One enemy remaining.
Good shooting there. You can see that triangle crossfire that they had set up. 100 Thieves didn't really focus on picking out one player at a time. Trent's the closest to the ultimate if they want to try to get something going, and they have actually managed to get 5 rifles up. Everybody scribbled and saving to make that happen.
Bang spotting it out, or blossomed in front of them. Dodging away though, too much to really overcome and stand your ground against. Have to respect that space now. With the snakebite flying forwards, Icy vulnerable, mosh pit on top of it. They're just swinging right through. Icy still with the one, but doesn't expect the other players, and Valent's right there. And the rest of the team now paving the way forwards. They've gained enough ground, but it's all about converting these kills here. And all their way. Cryo, smoke dropped down, but he just poked his head out and he knows it. Valent aware of the fact that he dropped down, so he's going to be spraying them all the way through here for the 8-8 half so far.
It's looking great for G2. Every time there's a round that they have to win in order to keep up their comeback, their momentum, you know, the 4 rounds at the end of the first half, and now here, being able to follow up when their economy was on the brink. These are such important moments, and they're coming away with the victory. Icy being good for the entry there and making space for Valent to trade, these are all so important.
Once more, the money's going to be broken. 100 Thieves.
Oh, yeah.
Losing this lead that we were kind of just expecting for them on this map. Not a thrash. Used for G2 to try and gain some of that ground forwards with the play right into the action. Vulnerability not really playing a part into all of this one here. Still a clean sweep and almost entirely here by G2. And Leaf just able to flex the movement and the aim. Not quite enough to get the final blow, but enough for the round win in his team with the cleanup.
G2 looks so much better with this version of their composition as well.
They do.
The solo Yoru stuff that they were running previously would never have got them up to 9 rounds here. So the fact that they've identified that, worked on their bind, feel confident enough to leave it in, and they've now taken the lead against 100 Thieves, that's incredible performance from them. Extremely good. Subverting expectations. Cascade of advantages for the rest of your matches. And speaking about momentum, this is where it could get reset again for 100 Thieves. There's tons of players really close to ultimates, and the eco is on a knife's edge for 100 Thieves. EU's doing the same thing that we saw Trent doing, and a little bit with Icy, where he's trying to pick where the noise is at the beginning. With both smokes committed to A, it's a 3-player stack from 100 Thieves on the defense. But they're thinking maybe that this could be a fake at this point, because there was no follow-up after the smokes.
And the noise cut. Call being made by G2 here. Over to strike. That's going to be surely a bit of a punishment. Nightfall all there. Asner now with the ult online. Lets it loose. And the rocket does find one. Post-mortem in nature. Right here. 3 players left to stand against this one with G2. But the onslaught is coming. And delivering an absolute reckoning. 100 Thieves still with that player advantage. But they've got to try and get past these players. It's a bit of a crossfire setup. Jonah P. It's precarious, the way he's feeling. You can feel it from the way that they're just taking the fight to them. What a call to make. The flash play into the back of the site, but bang. Maybe to deliver it. Still time against him. Finds the first one, Jonah P. The chances are here for him now to grasp it. Pit, drop down. This is desperation for Bang. Defuse, needs to gain it at least half to stand their chance. And Jonah P will not let it be the case.
Jonah has been purely supportive on Bind so far. He had 4 kills coming into that round. We're 18 rounds in, and he's just got another 2, but those were such large impact. What a cool call as well from Valent. going for those smokes early on and making it feel like it was going to be an A hit. Then when there's no follow-up, it feels like an A fake. And then they just contact in behind. It took some real brawling, though, to get them across the line in that 2v3. But Bang was just a little too late to the party. And now, as I said, that eco dropped once more. G2 are now the team that are not just in the lead, but in a great position to close out Bind.
The ult advantage, the money advantage, round advantage, it's all there for them.
It certainly is.
And they're slowing it down here, expecting a faster play from 100 Thieves when they're knocked down to the weaker weapons.
Yeah, and they're also very, very conscious of those flanks that they themselves were going for on defense. You see, Valen is holding the short push, and you've got Leaf holding that showers push as well. They're trying to do a lot more of these pump fakes. You could argue they're playing a bit more intelligently than 100 Thieves are. The thing is, 100 Thieves' attack side has just always worked. They just go into XX and they work, playing quickly. G2 are trying to play a bit more of that mid-round, bait out the defense into making a mistake. And thus far, Valen's had a really good read on what's going on. And again here, the fact that Haunt didn't see anything, it gives them the timing to start contacting up and go into an exec. There's only 2 players here. They found the weak side again.
At least with the mosh pit laying down, I see, can't really see anything fully blinded up. No one towards the back of the site, though. They haven't dealt with the hookah player. Oh, the C's! It's committed with the C's! And they have been turned to a fried goop onto the site. Asuna, they claim to the space. Vacuums it up now for the rest of his team now to see if they can deliver a round win, just when it was looking unlikely. Still into the post plant we go. Valen doesn't set his sights towards a player. Bides his time, rips it away from 3 of them. And a slight tap. Tickle of the spike there by Cryo. Decayed up, but Valen puts a bullet to the dome.
He's got the brains and the brawn today, Valen. Looking calm with it. Not overreacting, knows of the job. Still left to be done. 2 more rounds for G2 to secure this massive upset, it must be said, on Bind. This is the first time we're seeing this version of the G2 composition. And this play, this sees, it almost created an opportunity where 100 Thieves were able to turn things around. But Valen with a spray down and then a beautiful kill there onto Cryo puts his team up to 11. And now 100 Thieves want to try to take control of the game again, looking for this short push.
Little fishy being held by Boostio.
Right
See if he can make a play for it, but it's a full noise cut call by G2. They're creeping and crawling onto these angles. They know Boostio posts himself up, but already they've gained control of this one. Another crash should get beamed down. They're a little bit worried about this one. Off angle for Assen. It's all about how this first kill gets rattled off. Now the thrash close into it. Detainment there online, tucked to the corner. Boostio, what a call to make. Dominating the smoke position, and Valen will punish.
Another great kill by Valen to take things back into a 3v3. Leafs found a timing.
Slipped his way through, hasn't he?
Does Cryo think about it?
Right past the curtain, all but a strike, forcing them out into the open. 100 Thieves still, definite chances! Leaf wins that one out, doubled up for the Heaven player.
Even with EU, highlighting where Leaf was playing, still good for the kill.
Hello.
Bang, trying to make a miracle occur in the 1v3.
Snake by rebounding though. Dropped down to his
30
feet.
seconds left.
You're right, trying to set up for the miracle here. Valen, just head popped out. Doesn't choose to take up the position, but at least does reveal himself here. Vulnerability. A snake bite dropped down, now the call being made by Valen. Jump in wide, sets up Leaf beautifully.
Superb stuff from G2. They're up to 12, and they've deserved every part of it.
Yeah.
They flipped the script from Ascent. On Ascent, an even half where 100 Thieves ran away on their attack side. You could say the same here about Bind, but the sides being swapped. The teams being flipped. Leaf had so much to do, by the way, on this default. He had to worry about people pushing out of B, people pushing out of short, and he still found the timing to lurk up. How does 100 Thieves disrupt this? They're not going for their standard defense re-clears. They're not going for their set plays at the start of rounds. Where's the aggression? Where's the triple push down B long? Where's the stuff that's been working for them in the past?
We're just not seeing it. And for G2, they can smell it, man. The opportunity and chance to really steal this map away. An extension of play revealed out into the open. EU will pluck Icy straight out of the sky. Mosh pit delaying the inevitable, I will say, of this plant going down, but Valen Now having it planted in a really just an orthodox spot, sending the util out flying forwards. Mosh pit. Trent want to make sure that they can't follow up and through into the back of this site now, even offloading the Thrash of his own. This is it. The precipice around which 100 Thieves determined to win, but can they even do it? Sasha through with the movement, it's clean enough. Dizzy over the top, gonna be broken. Asuna trying to win out these fights still. Cutting it up and slicing these corners, leaving it to just one.
I'll find you.
And the third map, at this point, they can feel it. Time taken away with a spike. Valin delivers it. The backstab from behind.
Able to anti-more heading into this final map is definitely Valin, right? Because 100 Thieves, we've seen this from them many times on Split so far. We know that they love doing these 4-1 defaults on their attack side. Cryo is able to hard lurk, really, really late lurk on the Astra. These are the kind of tendencies that you can exploit. Oh, and Trent, he gets the opener with just spam through the wall there.
Yeah, just praying that he maybe catches on to a lurking player. It's a fault line to refight. Cut off.
Down A.
Orb was propped up here, but a spike's been dropped down into no man's land. I mean, how do you regain this one? Stars have to be used to pull and a wall up. Regaining control of this one here, just rattling the bullets back and forth.
Yeah, this one's a little bit of an unlucky kind of go next scenario.
There.
You know, you'll make the best situation out of it, try to create a win. But G2 are great in these spots at not giving up, you know, free peaks. They really force you to win the round and create the advantage.
You can see that just from the amount of respect. I mean, you could just draw a line throughout the back of the site, the entirety of the map. Position the G2 are holding. They're here to drop down though. So Jonah P now with a plan acknowledged.
Yeah, and all of that respect is going to give them the plant. So now the time working against G2.
But to Cryo, I think, to be a bit of a playmaker. There's no way in astral form. Bullets is going right underneath him. That seize is monstrous. It's about how these kills come through. No way! I mean, that is a ghost moment if I've ever seen one. Then on a flood through. Out of the smoke, fearless. Bang! Attempting to adjust. Makes a decent go of things.
But a pretty perfect pistol round to start off for G2. Starting out with a read and just a bit of lucky crosshair placement as Trent picks up the first. And then dismantling the rest of what 100 Thieves were trying to do up towards ramp.
Wow.
That's tough. Good stun afterwards though as well. You know, getting value out of Jonah P's utility there. As that stun line came all the way down ramps. And that's the thing. On this map, one of the things that I think a lot of the desk focus was talking about 100 Thieves on their defense side, where you can run at Cryo and it feels like the B site's a bit of a weakness for them. But on the attack side too, 100 Thieves love to group up. They actually deathball around the map with 4, sometimes 5 players. And they've only really got one person in another spot. That is so exploitative.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can exploit that really easily by, for example, on that pistol round where Jonah P walked down mid and was able to get a stun across a different latitude just because he knows it's going to be safe.
Nobody facing that position here with a nade into the corner. Quick hops. Up and around. But you're right. It's a lot to exploit if you've been doing your homework and you're at least aware of it and they're aware of bang. Just hoping to make something happen up towards the ramp angle. Asuna.
Yeah, and I think that's already showing you that good awareness.
Yeah.
Asuna gets taken out as the final player, but the way that 100 Thieves play on this map, they always have somebody, almost always have somebody hard lurking, and it's either bang over towards A, or it's Cryo towards B, or often, more often, towards mid. And Cryo's really, really late, whereas Bang tends to be a bit more aggro. And listen, if I know this from watching the VODs, you guarantee that G2, who've been putting in the work,
Jacob's son?
they're going to know that as well.
What was that at the end?
That's his honorific.
Okay.
You must refer to him as that.
I will not be doing that. Let's get into the bonus round.
So stun, take control, easy ult orb, and Icy gets the showstopper. 100 Thieves take a bit of mid control, and Valen's gonna maintain posting and all of that information over towards B main.
A lot of noise being made.
Yeah, but nobody really in position to hear that.
At least Leaf spotting it out. So, now no to the Prowler, giving them side control. G2 understanding the strengths really of how you really want to play this one. They haven't given up heaven control. And now seeking to actually refight potentially over ramp. They send the Prowler forwards as this plan is going down.
And this is one of those rounds where you're worried about where is Cryo. I mean, look at what Valen is up to over here. He's literally waiting for Cryo to walk up mid. He doesn't realize this is one of the few rounds where the Astra's not in a lurk.
I'll send it forwards now. Showstopper in the hands of Icy. Satchels through and around. Finds it. Asuna will drop him though. To the other side of things. Lovely dodge and a flash here. And a refight contestation. 100 Thieves calling at all the right timings. Regaining that heaven position and control. Plenty of bullets left for Trent to work with here, but with the pull, no chance, no possibility anymore.
Got to be kidding.
It's ticking away. All the win cons dropped. That's the power of this 100 Thieves composition. If you don't root out a player like Cryo, you're gonna be able to just stall it out in the long term with all that utility.
Yep. But here's the question. They don't know that Valen was looking for Cryo the whole round.
Yeah.
100 Thieves were on A. They have no way of knowing that Valen was aware of that. Does 100 Thieves proactively, preemptively stop going for those lurks, thinking that G2 might punish them, or are we actually going to see that game plan rewarded later on down the line? Here we see our first big rifle round. Previously, there was a stun over in this area and they took B main control on defense. This time it's only Valen home towards B, though he will have snake bites thrown in from Leaf if it goes into a B pop.
Very little noise being made though.
And it's a very weak site on defense at the moment.
It's the way split goes on the defense side. You end up playing retake more often than not. Smoke drop just based off the feelings of the getting that this is coming through. I mean, spam down and spray down. The orb is delayed, so Valen, he could take that sideline. Heaven wasn't smoked off. Asuna seeks to just even out the exchange. Will do so successfully. Already retreating now to a bit of a deep tuck position.
Here.
Nade, paranoia, lots of fade utility available.
Clear this. The nade is going to miss him though. Just tucks it behind as well, and then on the Wiser! Right from the side, he is blinded up, flashed up, but it matters not. 100 Thieves. Real great idea of how they wanted to just stunt that one when that push was coming through.
They got into great post-line positions. Even though they lost a player early on, and you're right, that smoke came late, that's all deliberate because they don't want to tell that they're about to hit the B site. The thing that they're trying to avoid there is, you know, if they place down a star or if you see that orb being thrown, it just telegraphs. We are going B. So you just know that that hit's coming through. So they're trying to make sure that those kind of signals are not being sent over to the defenders.
Yeah.
And they get into a good post-man position because of it.
Pulling that line out when I'm mid-sip of a drink.
Sana.
Trying to get me to spit it up all over the monitor.
We are planning to go B. Stop. We're hoping to have a good post-man. Stop. Cryo will be playing post-man with his pull.
100 Thieves in this scenario. This is what was throwing them for a loop a little bit. They've gained the advantage when it comes to the economy, but
Find you.
expecting proactive plays from G2 when they're on the weaker buys. They hold for the time being, and they lose the first 45 seconds.
You can see that Valen's actually putting a pretty large premium on getting info over towards B main, and that's allowing them to get these kind of stack setups going over on A. A jiggle peek from Jonah P, although he's actually holding it with the Marshall, but once he takes one shot with the Marshall, he can drop off, fault line.
Yeah, exactly that. Sends a flying stun. Minor connection, at least going to be pushing him back and away. Jonah P, be aware of this. Bullets are suddenly flying through here, and they do clean up the available players that were there just trying to contest and tango towards the ramp angle.
And honestly, these are good setups that could get them value on rifle rounds, but when the economy is bad here for G2, 100 Thieves are running them over. That was a two-player fight over towards ramp. If those G2 players have rifles and they get into a spot like that, I think they've got great chances of pulling around some defense rounds. But unfortunately, 100 Thieves are not opting into these kind of setups when things are even. They're building up a ridiculous ult bank. They're about to come into the next with 4 out of 5 ults online. And 3 of them are to help them take space on a site. Nightfall, Showstopper, Thrash. These are all used to put pressure onto the defending players. I think this is going to be very tough for G2 to hold on. And 100 Thieves only really need to use one of them, and then they've got another for post-plan.
Yeah, already setting it up with the lineups.
And again, have a look at how few tells 100 Thieves are going to try to use here. They're making it feel like it's going through mid, Nightfall, Smoke.
But that's so many connections. They're not going to be able to hear anything that this is at least colliding.
Yeah, instead they're
straight to the B side.
Welcome to my world.
Hit drop down after strike. That should delay the plant. I'm going to Nightfall. It's a fast flood attempt. Ready to trail, point them in the right direction, but Icy is detained in the process. Bullets flying, and it comes down to chance. Flip of a coin almost. But that flood, successful tale has been woven for G2. Put themselves in a position. Look at that smoke as well, Valen. Again, similar plays that we're seeing. I mean, just sends it sky high, so it gives him just a little spot on the legs, enough to spray down finish.
Has monumental confidence there, but also, how on earth does Jonah P get that level of value? He killed one with the aftershock. The aftershock was only to deny the plant from coming through, and somehow got the kill. And then, with the last bullet before he got detained, he somehow got a second. Oh,
Cryo steps into it for a second.
I think that's just his vision being obscured by the pit.
Yeah.
Bit of anti-synergy there from 100 Thieves, and they lose the big round that they invested all of those ults for. A fast A-pot. Again, we're not seeing that classic lurk play.
Not to be deterred, are they? Oh my god, the bullets are going crazy right now. And so is Asuna. Sends it straight to them, at least with a showstopper. Still holding the angle here with a nade rebound and a follow-up and follow-through. 100 Thieves. These are basically a 5-second beginning and end to the entirety of that round.
Yeah, excellent work as well with it. When you're not using Cryo on the hard lurk through mid, that gives you an extra player to do stuff like that, to fight ramp off the back of Asuna's distraction. I think this is a really good audible here. Fight up inside that smoke with the showstopper and then push up ramp. These players are perfectly happy to play those spots as a more passive situation as well, and just dual ramp when G2 bring it to them, but aggressive component's lovely. And 100 Thieves might just want to run it back again. Same setup.
So well. They had nothing to stop it, but this time anchoring players. What are they going to do to prevent it? Timing it, at least with the dash in. The Dizzy. It's G2 seeking a flood defense. This one working out for them. Taking gambles here onto the half by smokes, dropping and fading. The cut noise called by 100 Thieves. This time might be able to pave their way to a victory, at least into this round. Damage is definitely done though. Look at Boostio. Slight breeze will bring him down. The players are still stacked up. G2 not budging.
No, they're really expecting this to be a re-hit, and they are completely correct. It's a great read.
You are divided!
That's quite a nice one. It's going to allow them an avenue to get through.
Spike down.
And you said a light breeze would bring down Boostio. How about an acid pool at his feet?
Doing the damage there. Leaf holding it close. A tap. Cryo seeking for them to push past and through this own cosmic divide. But honestly, Valen can't really hear anything at all. Plant now committed and stuck by Cryo. Getting into it now. Taking a fight straight to him. But the IGL dropped. Leaf now matters into his own hands, but surely accounted for. Not quite. Run and gun drive by. Wins it out now. 4-4 here in terms of the rounds.
You heard Vanity mention it, talking about bind, actually, where he was saying Boostio's style of IGLing, he loves to run something until you prove that you can stop it. Well, they had a rifle v rifle round where they sent it into A, and then on the anti-eco, he decided to call the same thing. And this time, Valen stacked aside and got there into a spot where he could get the kill onto Asuna before he got hit by the Dizzy. And that makes all the difference.
I'll find you.
Heavy reads coming out.
I died, bro. He mollied.
Nothing on my eye, nothing on my eye.
Yeah, I don't think anything.
Not anticipated that one. No. Icy has picked up the operator, so they're going for a kind of bait and switch setup in mid.
I don't know how much value this is really going to get. I mean, 100 Thieves haven't been putting much attention on mid, to be honest.
No, if anything, they've just been faking it with EU's utility, and EU does end up falling to it.
It's spoken into existence.
But now,
Oh, Valen.
B is still quite weak here.
There's a timing.
Poison's off.
Leaf's trying to cover that timing.
Oh,
but he gets out util.
Yep, util in their hands. Dashing forwards, at least with the satchels blinded up.
Down B.
Asuna, all the senses cut away and lives on top of it.
Really nice round there from G2. Adding another layer into what they were doing over towards mid. And still, honestly, this B site looks like it should be a little weak, but the way that Valen and Leaf are playing it, they're just on top of all of these little pops in.
Yeah.
The snakebite timing could not have been better there. I mean, Leaf had his crosshair placed on it and pulled out util. I thought he might have got timing that Asuna could get a shot onto him, but both of those players vulnerable. Valen's able to pick up one of them.
30 seconds left.
It looks very difficult for 100 Thieves to be able to get into sites if G2 actually have players hard anchoring. And that shouldn't really be the case against 100 Thieves.
Spike down B.
They have a lot of firepower, at least to brute force their way into these site hits. So yeah,
10
shouldn't be getting
seconds
deterred
left.
so easily.
I mean, having said this, even if they managed to muscle their way past Valen or Leaf, Icy was coming through with a showstopper afterwards.
Yeah.
Didn't end up being that relevant, to be honest, but it would have been if that first line of defense had fallen. And G2 get up to 5.
A lead.
We were expecting this final map to be anybody's game. That's what I said at the end of Bind. It felt like Ascent was a must-win for G2 because we'd seen such a spectacular record from 100 Thieves on Bind. It looked untouchable. But with that assumption being incorrect, the game is just broken wide open for anyone to take.
Yeah, and I might even flip it on its head as well and make the claim that 100 Thieves need a strong start here onto this attack side rounds. They haven't shown that they've got it in them, I think, for the retakes.
Yeah.
What's going to happen when they get onto the defensive half? I think they need a strong beginning here on their own attack side. Fast ramp take.
But a fake. They're trying to draw people over towards A. Boostio's called them to make noise, make it feel like Asana's taking this position. And you can see that that's just opened up the B site.
Pulled them off and away here. There's still Heaven players, G2. A few bullets rattled and fired across.
This is going to end up being a retake situation here where Jonah P has this ult to be able to play with. So there has to be an extra layer here for 100 Thieves. Do you want to try to play aggressive in a spot and dodge that? Do you want to try to play a mid lurk? What is the extra layer here? Because if you all just stand on site, you are all getting stunned up.
It's going to be catching him here. And Cryo's in a bit of a one and done there. Snakebite to defend him. Satchel through. It is so damn explosive. And everybody is accounted for. Only the main players left to really deal with and dispel away from the side. Icy. What an incredible opener from him. Slingshotted himself straight into the site.
The counter there from 100 Thieves in the post plan was supposed to be the Thrash. They were thinking, right, well, we get breach ulted, but we throw our Thrash out and everyone's going to be scared. They're not going to go for it. But the Thrash is just one little fish. It can't really get everybody. And so as the Thrash came out, Icy all over the top of it. And then even catches the free one onto Boostio, who's channeling his ult.
Oh, it's locked in.
It's beautiful,
Yeah.
the way that G2 are playing. If they hit B, he actually has to come out with the insane rounds. But that's a story for a couple of rounds' time. At the moment, they're looking to still try to put some on the board. And this is a lovely ult. Spills all the way down mid.
As long as the C's and an aid is narrowly avoided. No one from 100 Thieves actually taking that space.
Yeah, not that Leaf knows that, and he's pretty bold to be able to get back into position here. In theory, those 100 Thieves players could be fairly deep inside the ult, so Leaf's going to be paranoid for a little while.
Full group up called up by 100 Thieves now.
Cover going out.
All hands on deck as they approach this A site. Valen anchoring in the elbow spot. Jonah P. Silent jump spot. Doesn't want to give anything away. Whoa. As the wall comes up, the bullets, what is that? Zero connection. I mean, Boostio still alive.
Yeah, just took one by the look of it.
But it still made no noise.
And Valen gets into a hard anchor position. This is what has been ruining some of 100 Thieves' execs.
And now they send it flying forwards here. Careening with the util. Fault line will delay. Stunting them away. Plants will be sent flying as well with Wingman, but that's going to be denied and delayed. Again, it's almost inevitable at this point. Valen doesn't smoke himself off in the usual spot. Asuna forced to stick to plan himself. Finally with a committal. Satchel round, but no one to play off of this one. It's delayed in the process. There was an attempt there by Boostio, but it's just being picked apart at the seams. And it all unravels in a moment's notice.
That is so nicely done by G2. They've got such a great read on what's happening. The prep. It looked like there was no way that they were going to be able to pull out this kind of performance on map 1. But then throughout Bind and now here on Split, you're seeing all of the hard work that G2 have put in, preparing for this game. And it's the same kind of strengths we saw when they beat Crew.
One enemy remaining.
Getting Valen into that position, denying the plant, and having Valen be unexpected on site, these are all building up on top of each other to result in G2 running away with this half.
Looking to make it nice and pretty. An 8-4 finish, but 100 Thieves. I don't want to call it desperation just yet. Anything could happen. They do need this round win.
This is one of the few rounds where we've seen Cryo playing away from the rest of the squad. He's not gone for a lurk play like this basically the entire time. Round 12, first one where he brings it out. We know that G2 were aware of it early, but have they lost that because of the conditioning of 100 Thieves going for 5-person hits?
Still, it's only Leaf who's seeking to gather a bit of that information. Try and ward him away with a few bullets.
They're thinking that this mid take is still a fake because 100 Thieves have not actually gone into mid with bodies this whole half. So Boostio's really trying to change things up here to get the 5th on the board.
Very orchestrated opening. These were them taking Mayo control with only 44 seconds left. It's really playing to this round. This might be the danger zone for 100 Thieves. Got to get a move on, and it has to be quick. But they've got so many players to deal with. I mean, G2, look at them tucked to the corners. They're pivoting.
The fake ult by Valin as well. He ulted, and now 100 Thieves are thinking, okay, maybe the Omen is behind us. Maybe the Omen is gone to B, though. And they're going to end up heading back into this duo of Valin and Jonah P.
Exactly right. Fault line delaying them even further. There's only 18 seconds left in the round. They have to get a move on. Util expended. 12 seconds left. Lit up. Beacons just trying to flood their way into the site. The only chance of a win, but it's being dismantled. G2, a complete fundamental understanding of what 100 Thieves are trying to achieve.
That's amazing. Considering that was the first round that we saw 100 Thieves actually go into mid with heavy presence, the fact that G2 still had the read on it and still managed to win the mind games and come out on top. 5 rounds in a row at the end of the half.
And look at this. This is from Valin earlier.
This
what
is
you were
the
calling
fake
out.
ult.
Yep, the fake ult.
He just cancels it immediately. Yeah, that still gives away the sound cue if anyone was close, but there's no way anyone was able to hear that. And it baited 100 Thieves into coming back into that paranoia and stun combo with the aftershock. It's so good.
IGL right there. That's my IGL. That's what you want to hear.
But also that is so important to take a look at how B is defended because that has been a weakness for 100 Thieves and one they need to be reinforcing. But G2 are headed to the opposite side of the map to start us out on the pistol round.
Not just that, I've got my own concerns as well, just on 100 Thieves' performance so far. This entire series, defensive halves, yet to win a retake.
Yeah,
that's going to be put to the test. I mean, there's no map better for it, I think, than Split. It's going to test your ability to fight on a retake. A tough one, though. Still sending it flying forwards here is G2. I have access to this one. Boostio, aware of his position. It's going to be plucked out of position just onto that elbow angle. Exchange of the guns as well. Really putting a stop to 100 Thieves from having any chance of trying to flood back into this one. What is their plan?
There.
I mean, Jonah P still has 2 flashes and an aftershock here. I don't know what his game plan is to get value out of that in the post plan. First step, stop them coming out of screens.
Yeah, at least a nade just to cut off that close corner angle that there could have been a player holding. It's a double call and a face up here by G2, but backing away now is Icy. Still with that smoke to divide and conquer portions of the map. And an essential pistol round. It needs to go the way of 100 Thieves, but only 2 to stand and 2 to make it possible. EU circumventing all of this one, but with time ticking already, it spells the feed out for them. G2, a pistol round win.
Looking great to win this series. They're in the driver's seat for sure. Our first Ascension team to make global event. And we thought they were out of it after map 1. I mean, obviously the desk was talking about Boostio talking trash, but obviously that's not to clown on Boostio. I think it's just to also showcase, if you had asked any of us, you saw it with all of our predictions as well. Everybody here predicted 100 Thieves to win the game. They looked like the better team coming out. And G2, this resurgence has happened so late on.
Just evolution of this G2 squad, honestly. I don't really know what to, who to hold accountable, I guess, for it, right? Is it Valin with the calling? I think there's probably some part of it, the support staff, the whole team.
I think they've also been a squad that likes to turn up ever since they went to that last international event and flopped out after winning in North America. They've been a team that steps up when it matters. They've been like big game players.
Yeah.
Right there.
Exactly what you want, but there's a time to come alive, and it might be now for Boostio. Just the 2 before he's eventually dropped. A lot of space gained here for Leaf. He's looking to try and cut up these angles. But the damage done to Asuna. Gonna give this one up for now. Plant tapped. No response though from 100 Thieves.
Planted.
The paranoia still being held by Valen. As soon as 100 Thieves make the first signs of life, right there.
Cover going
Sending out the waves of the util. Still no casualties, but again, it's going to have to be miracle shots. Is Asuna going to be that miracle maker? Not quite.
Enemy remaining.
3 down.
The scene's going to be fading to black here. EU, no chance. Just with the Bucky in his hand, he's even having to resort to the sidearm.
And so 10-4, 6 rounds down. 100 Thieves are going to find themselves. But it looked like they were primed after map 1 to be able to get themselves into our grand finals. 100
Barely got there.
Yeah, EU just being able to get that. This is going to be a long road back if they want any chance of being able to recover this one. Otherwise, G2 are looking like, even with leaving Bind in the pool, they've got that quality now.
I mean, it's masterful adaptations, I gotta say,
remaining.
beginning to end. I think they've come into this with pretty clear game plans, don't get me wrong. Like Ascent, they got washed, right? But onto Bind especially, the ideas they were throwing into the mix, throwing 100 Thieves for a loop, I think, and now look at it split.
Yeah, now we get to see 100 Thieves on a rifle round, and then it's not Cryo anchoring B. So G2 are going into a B split, trying to put pressure on Cryo. He's not here.
A lot of noise in Utah thrown out, though. Not really hiding the fact, are they? Bang just wants to take the fight. Into these angles as well, just dodging this Utah. I know Trent is locked up into the corner. Eventually dealt with. Asuna still here. He's got to dodge and duck. All around, this one tiptoeing. The available util that's sent flying. G2, you get the 1 kill, but it's still just 2 of them left alive.
I think that's a fantastic read. It's the secondary setup that 100 Thieves go for, where Cryo goes and anchors over towards A. It's not their standard setup, but it's a good one for throwing teams for a loop.
Last player standing.
Alan just making a call there for a bit of a
Spike
contact
down B.
play.
And this one, not even really going to be that great of a bonus round. Leaf gets a final, but 3 rifles saved for 100 Thieves, and they get a very important 5th on the board.
Yeah.
The more they can mix up how their defense looks, the more difficult it's going to be for Valen to cook up ideas of how to attack that weakness in the game. Because I do completely agree with the analysis about this, that Cryo hardcore anchor defense on B is the weakness. But if they're not playing that, and you look at the minimap again, they're not playing it again, it's Cryo over towards A again, Valen's going to have to change the game plan.
We'll see how quickly this really goes for G2. Not quite privy to these fast takes, but at least for Rap with the fault line to set them up. They have control of it. Bit of map control.
Asuna goes into B main. I think he picked up the ult orb there as well, and you see Leaf in that lurk position too. So as G2 pump the brakes, 100 Thieves will often try to cook up a re-clear strategy. We didn't really see them on Bind. They looked hesitant to go for those kind of things that have been working so well for them.
The Z. Damaged and broken. Cryo anchoring 100 Thieves, flooding their way back into this one. Bang! Who's left on the tether?
Player standing.
Bungee jumping up and down from the heaven angle.
Toxins going up.
Surely doable now for 100 Thieves. Gotta think it. 2v1. Lesson though for Leaf is that they don't really know his positioning, but the spike is out into the open.
They're clearing over towards screens. They truly have no clue where he's at.
Now they do.
I have the spike.
Spots it out with a Prowler right from behind Asuna. Creeping and crawling, lurking around with the knife out in play. You don't stand a chance there. 10-6, 100 Thieves. If they're going to make this happen, it has to be 1 round at a time.
I am a little cautious about the fact that we don't see 100 Thieves going for those decisive re-clear strats. On Bind, we didn't see them go for defensive set plays. We didn't see them go for re-clears. And here as well, it looked like they had the util in their hands to re-clear ramp and they didn't go for it. But listen, if they're getting the job done and subverting expectations by changing up their defense setups, then fair enough. It's working for them. And now that G2 are on an eco, now Cryo anchors B. So they're just trying to make it as easy as possible for Cryo.
Just going to be sending it straight into these 100 Thieves players, though. Bustio, slight unawareness there, but eventually revealed by the Haunt. Lets it rip now. Nightfall scatters and spreads all the way out. Some of the decay damage kicking in. Flurry of bullets, enough to do the job.
G2 keep hitting the strong side of 100 Thieves.
I open their minds.
Valent's attack side calling has been excellent on Bind, but here they're not doing enough to work the map before they go into these site hits. That was another one, of course, just on the eco, but we've got to see them figure out what the defensive setup looks like before they fully be able to get his ult online with a plant. Or a kill, of course, but yeah, it's a good one for the post.
Could cook someone up as well, get a little bit fancy with a Nightfall, Valen with an ult.
But this is actually the first round where we see rifles online and 100 Thieves have their standard setup with Cryo solo anchoring B. And the thing that makes this a bit of a potential weakness is that he hard anchors from either like back positions or somewhere close as well.
100 Thieves have been doing a lot of conditioning that they haven't been playing that setup.
And G2 are trying to slow the pace down. This looks like they're trying to get a bit more info to me.
Here.
Prowler comes down, position of EU pinged out just based on where the Prowler came from.
Toxins going
What
up.
do they want to default into? Have the ults, Leaf, taking a timing. Players are pretty split right now from G2 in terms of where they're looking to go. I mean,
The first 40 seconds and they haven't taken any map control apart from B main.
yeah.
It's slow, but it's actually not gathering information.
Toxin screen
Jonah
down.
P making a long trek back with the spike in his hands. Over towards A, looks like that's where they want to end. They want to try and fake B presence here with a Nightfall.
Face your fear!
Ult as well, maybe they get that connection online. Is it enough to sell it? Thrash, Force. This will be clearing this one all the way out and really should just sell it now for the hard rotation. And that's what he's trying to do. Lands a shot somehow, somewhere. Snake Bite. Pushing back once more from even being able to take that spot here. Asim with a rocket. Ready to let it rip and fires it straight through. Not able to collect the kill and wide open, but a taking. Bullet straight to the head.
Leaf's under a lot of pressure. He's the one with the spike. He had to retrieve it off Jonah
Gonna
P's
try
dead
and
body.
cross.
10
10 seconds left. Spike's out nowhere, man. And you have to clear up these players here and now. Running away. No time. I mean, it's just realized, isn't it? 100 Thieves. As soon as the call is made, they have no time. EU sprints his way out of there.
You know what the wild thing is? All of this happened because EU got that random headshot onto Jonah P. He wasn't aiming at Jonah. Jonah was behind the wall, but he killed the player with the spike. And so the spike got dropped way behind everybody else. That bought enough time for Asuna to come in with the ultimate. Look at that! That's Jonah! The breach dies there. The breach isn't even on your screen. And the spike gets dropped. And that starts an unfortunate series of events.
Still surprisingly so, G2. They've got money to spend. Still the investments and, crucially, ults.
And this is the first time we're seeing them shove it into Cryo.
Sending it forward. It's Cryo! He just takes up the position, dictating the direction of the round with that one. I mean, this guy, not to be removed as soon as a showstopper play fails. It's a cancel call by G2.
Dominating the smoke really early on. And Icy anticipating them to be playing further back or towards default. Just didn't think to predict shot into that. G2 forced to wrap things around. They're trying to give as few kind of notices as possible to their opponents. So they're not even using util to clear these or putting smokes down.
Bang's just holding a snake bite though. As soon as he sees one player, surely lets it rip. Just no punish on the jump spot. Flying forwards here, a bit of vulnerability here on Jonah P. Haunt as well. Doesn't know these players are locked tight close to the corner again. Asuna.
He's always in hell. Asuna is always in
Have
hell.
to account for it. Still gets the one. Is covered on the cross. Cryo. He deletes and decimates.
Any kind of idea that G2 had about how to break this B setup, it's not working in reality. Theory is one thing, but this is now 5 rounds in a row. 100 Thieves have picked up. They've knocked G2 back down to another eco. I'm telling you, Asuna is always in that exact same position, and I think Valen knew it. Oh, sorry, Jonah P knew it. He just couldn't win the duel.
Yeah. When Cryo's holding the cross there as well, I mean, any chance of follow-up from the team?
I think
Denied.
the timing has to be perfect there. You have to be sending people through heaven at the same time as B main. It just wasn't there for G2. This is another eco that looks like it's going to be sent into Cryo.
100 Thieves not really worried about the money here. Flying forwards to nade.
The bullet tag.
Yeah, just slowing him down enough for it. Asuna on the high ground.
It's the second one.
What is going on?
I mean, he got his 2 kills. He got the nade back. And
Wide face though, maybe overzealous in nature here from the 100 Thieves players, but Spike still dropped down. So G2 not going to have easy access to it.
Right there. Right there.
Look at this crossfire.
One enemy
Moving in
remaining.
and out there, just trying to not make it too damn easy. Get the kill here, Leaf.
you do have to be a little cautious because Leaf has his ult.
The 1v2. Drop down though. Should be the high-low setup. If he tries to swing to try and take out Bang, Boostio is going to be there to just pump some lead straight back at him. Now he knows the position of both of them. Definite intelligence on display, but only 7 bullets to really do it. He goes for the widest face in the world. I do respect it, but it's 10 to 10. 100 Thieves are right back in this one.
They brought it back. An 8-4 half. And we were thinking Boostio might have to eat humble pie. Instead, smashes it right back in Valen's face.
Standing.
It's quick on it, Leaf. I mean, definitely made a decent go of things here, but at this point that 100 Thieves have set themselves up in, I mean, enough money, they could bankroll a Fortune 500 company. They're not going to be running out of any guns anytime soon. It's essentially going to be full buys from here on out until the tail end of this series.
Asuna and Cryo play together to take B main control at the start of this one. They've inserted Valen. Top of the scoreboard, 20 kills across 20 rounds. Valen's trying his best to get things over the line. But while the aim is working here, the attack side calling hasn't quite been as effective as it was on Bind, where it looked like he was just inside the 100 Thieves comms, basically.
You can really tell we're getting into the untested territory, I suppose, of the map pool for both of these teams.
Yeah, and also the part where theory doesn't work as well as you thought it would.
Yeah.
So you're having to do more of that improving. Now, Valen was hoping here that there would be some kind of aggressive re-clear and he could pick it up, perhaps.
It's really been nothing like it. Still Boostio. He's tucked to the corner.
Do they
Might be
clear
some
it?
safety here. Has to be pre-fight. Surely no way, no way. Everything dodged and avoid. Not a single shred of utility to hunt him down and pick him out of place. Just as one gets out of there. Bandit behavior. But at least with a Viper spin, maybe a chance. Asuna sent it flying forwards with the rocket. No kill there. What is going on? Huh? Cancels it in the moment. What the hell is occurring? Cryo to respond. 1v2. The pit's still up. Knife is out. Cryo seeking a better angle into all of this here with a pull. It's watched. And Trent will deliver at least. Finally around to the board there. Do not ask me what happened.
I think he must have opened up his settings. That's the only thing that, to me, makes any sense.
Yeah.
I think he must have just fat-fingered his escape key or something in the middle of that moment. But also,
happens.
I'm a little confused why he didn't try to send the rocket on the players close to him. He double blast packed over to try to go towards the plant. And another situation. Brent, again, there are no retakes here for 100 Thieves. They're winning on the defense side, so, you know, you don't want to complain about it, but...
Stopping the plant from going down in the first place, though, right?
Right, exactly. It's the kind of plant denial stuff. It's stuffing them into the choke point. If G2 are getting into post plants, this is, again, not going to be that aggression on defense. But they're putting both initiators in B heaven, which is a different setup.
Money getting tight here for G2.
This is going to be a pit off the rip from Bang.
It's an unusual position. You don't really see this one too often. And he
Bang
gets dropped.
Instantly. I mean, that's just got to be spam, I think, right?
Gotta think so. Asuna just trying to dodge. This one tucked! And he's betrayed either by a shoulder or what. I'm not too sure, but tucked out. There was an awareness there from G2, and now they're just gonna be sending it. Boostio, he understands it. He's gonna try and make a play and make it now. Assailed on his position. Can he really push them and ward them back? The IGL
Down A.
is doing his best. There's 2 really gonna be enough now for them.
Spike planted.
There's opportunities for sure. 100 Thieves. They're not grouped up together here. It's EU and Cryo. And Cryo's still hunting around for these players. Valen just donates one to him. Pops up right into him. Icy did not have the gun but a job. And just like that, it's turned on its head. Leaf left to clutch it all. Damage there. What a shot. And the fadeaway from it. EU with the tap. Leaf in the open. Immaculate positioning.
Bustio's on his feet again, but the score is still tied. And that round absolutely looked like G2 were going to make it to match point. It took heroics from 100 Thieves to get into this spot. Icy kind of gave the game away a little bit. He's hiding.
Punish you.
I mean, I say Icy gave the game away, so did Valen. But that combo up in heaven, allowing them to get into a spot where Leaf had to play a 1v2, it should never have gotten to that point.
Yeah.
A bit of a fumble there from G2, and they're going to take attack time out. There's going to be nerves in these kind of spots, for sure. These are not and not just an even round to push things further, one that absolutely destroys the G2 economy. They're coming into this one with 2 hero rifles, a Phantom and a Bulldog, but otherwise you're expecting that 100 Thieves should be able to convert this one and get up to match point.
I mean, it needs hero plays and perfection, I think, in terms of the calls that are being made. Bang. Fault line, it does tag with a stun, but no one from G2 is looking to even sniff in that direction. They are making their way back over towards A.
Looking to try to mess with the way that Bustio's seeing the game here. If they can pull people over towards A,
One and done.
perhaps they can start to go in the opposite direction. I mean, the spike is still outside B.
That's not spotted. Surely got to get out of here. And yes, Nightfall committed. Aftershock on top of it. But an ult for an ult here. EU also expending one of his own. Full rotations. The 100 Thieves seeming scattered on the defensive half, but they have a level of awareness here. Bustio calling, not for the over-rotation. They've realized that it's a fake presence, and now Thrash is really going to be putting an end directly to these troubles. It spells it out. With Valen detained, everybody making their way over towards this one. It's desperation. Evident now from G2. And how do you come up with anything when 100 Thieves have full awareness of what you're up to?
30 seconds left.
Running your way through the util, seeking the disrespected. Again, the anchoring positions at the back of the site, shutting them down with rifles in hand. 100 Thieves, not to be denied, that 12th round on the board. And even Leaf spotted the position known and noted. One more round will do it.
One more round between them and an enormous map V2 advantage. An impossibility for anyone to take Bind away from them, except within the server, as G2 did today. Chances for them to skip the Swiss stage of Shanghai, cement their spot in playoffs, if they're able to win this tournament. And what a comeback it has been. Each one of these 3 maps has been so extraordinarily different in the second half. The first 2 maps even, and then one team taking control. And here we go, G2 maybe looking to accelerate a little bit because it's a group up in mid.
No ults to work with, half armor and a multitude of targets. Bustio knows it. He's got the Outlaw in his hands, rifle nearby. But you're right, this is a bit of exploration from G2 down into mid, and this is the entirety of the series being distilled and defined down to one moment. Bang. Looking like he wants to make a go of things here. Surely you don't just push up right past them! The DPM cuts them away and out of the picture! A pretty one painted by this 100 Thieves squad. And they've just left it to Leaf and Valen. 55 seconds on the mark. Bustio's going wandering, exploring out into the open. Might just spot these players falling. And just like that, 100 Thieves cement their spot in the grand finals.